Oh, my little beau, he's barking. I don't know if you can see, I don't know if you can, I don't know. Out there, there's a, I don't know, a utility guy working in the street, and my beau, he's there, and he's barking, and I have had enough of that. But every time I fuss at him, he goes like I'm gonna hit him, and I know, he's been with us about 2 years. It'll be, gosh, maybe it'll be 3 in February. But he clearly came from somewhere where they weren't nice to him before he got to us. And so I'm always like, hey, he's like, don't hit me. I'm like, I am not going to hit you. And it just breaks my heart. Come here. I act like that. Oh, I know something bad happened. And it just breaks my heart because, I mean, look at his face. Look at his face. Yeah, I mean, who would be mean to that face? Look at that face. Yeah, he's like, can I go now? So today is the start of Dia de los Muertos festival for remembrance, observance. And so today is actually, no, I have to talk here. Today is, as we're gearing up into Halloween, and today is the time when people are honoring their pets. With ofrendas, with memories, with people put a little altar with pictures and perhaps a little bowl of water or some snacks, little dog treats, cat treats, whatever kind of a pet that you are remembering. And so that is part of it. And Buddy is sitting right here next to me because I've got the window open, so he's on guard. And so today is the day in Dia de los Muertos observations that we are remembering our pets that have passed. And so if you have pets that have crossed the Rainbow Bridge, this is a good day to be thinking about them. We have a lot. We have Daisy and Dixie, our latest, and Buster and my Toby, and that's just the dogs. And in the cats, there's a whole lot more. So, and a bunny. So it's something for you to think about as you are, let me turn my headphones off, as you are going through the next couple of days. Part of the Dia de los Muertos is also, will also be to remember, of course, our loved ones in spirit, friends, family, ancestors, those kind of things. So this is in the observation of this festival that leads up into Halloween and All Souls Day for other religions, and the Dia de los Muertos festival. The Remember Me festivals and things like that are usually on November 1st. So, speaking of all of that, next Monday we will not be together because I will be in Mexico for Dia de los Muertos. So this will be, we have today, and then we will not have the first Monday in November, but then we should be able to have the rest of the Mondays in November. I have some other travel in November, but I don't think any of it interferes with other Mondays. So also, as we are now, as we talked about, getting into the Halloween week, this is the time when the veil between the worlds is very thin, and so lots of your loved ones may be wanting to communicate, maybe have something to say, hello, how are you, to let you know that they are there. We are still in the waxing of the moon, so the moon is moving up into the full moon. I did not check when this full moon is going to be today. Let's see, full moon is going to be on the 5th. So on the 5th. So we have a little bit more than a week and a half before we get into the full moon. But we know that we have Mercury retrograde is also coming. So retrograde officially starts on the 9th. So we have the full moon on the 8th, the full moon on the 5th, and then we have officially retrograde is on the 9th. We know that we've been in the pre-window for retrograde that's been going on for a little while. Thank you. I'm very excited. It's going to be, it should be a really good trip to Mexico, this retreat. I'm looking forward to it. So, and I may have the opportunity to teach while I'm there. So while I am crossing my fingers that that does happen, I am more importantly keeping my fingers crossed and all light and love to go to the other teacher whose spot I would take if she is not well enough to go. And so obviously it's a tough spot. I wish her to be healthy and strong and to be well enough to go. I actually was really looking forward to meeting her. So I still am holding that thought, but I know that if she's able to attend, then I will not have the opportunity to teach. So it's I'm holding the hope for her over the hope for me, because I know I can teach in lots of places. Having said that, I think I had mentioned last week that we have the links I think are not open yet, but they will be, and some really big things coming up. So in November, the first weekend, not the first weekend, so the 8th and 9th, if you're local, please do come see me at Osceola Orlando Spirit Fest at Osceola Heritage Park. I'm really excited to be back in the Orlando Spirit Fest. That's going to be Saturday and Sunday. You can go to Spirit Fest's website. You can go to my website. It is actually, I think, pinned at the top of the Facebook page. We'll get it over onto the Instagram as well. So that's going to be the 8th and 9th. You can come and see me in person. I love visitors. You can sign up for a reading. You can see all the books, all the different things. So really excited to be back for Orlando Spirit Fest. That's November 8th and 9th. And then in December, I'll be teaching for the Journey Within Church in New Jersey, online class. It's open to anyone. If you are a light worker or an entrepreneur or somebody who is trying to get a business off the ground, please do consider taking, oh no, that's December, sorry. The business class is in December. So the first 3 weeks of December, we'll have the business class, and that's open for everybody. So there will be links coming to sign up for that. Also in December is going to start the Grief Education Podcast. I'm really looking forward to that. There will be more information about that later as we get into November. And then also in January will be the beginning psychic development. So there's a lot of really exciting things that are happening, and I'm looking forward to everyone jumping in wherever it feels appropriate for you. So lots of really fun stuff. So I mean, even the Grief Education Podcast is going to be fun. We're going to make it be fun. We're not going to make it just be all, sad, because you know what? Our loved ones have a sense of humor, and they want us to be happy. They want us to remember the happy things and not to remember the really sad, horrible, awful things. Last night here in Orlando, I had the privilege of going to a hotel in Altamont to hear two of the people who had been held hostage in Gaza to tell their story. And the Sapir had been held hostage for 50 plus days, and her boyfriend, now fiance, Sasha, had been held for 280 plus days in Gaza. You may have heard his story was big in the news. He had been shot in the leg multiple times. So he had a very badly broken leg with bullet wounds and broken bones. And when that had happened, when he was taken hostage, it was very big news. She had been released in the early part of where the women and children had been released in the early part of the Gaza war, and he was released more recently. So it was really amazing to hear their stories, but what was amazing more was, even though they were talking about these very difficult things, they were telling jokes, and they were telling about silly things that had happened. For example, one of the times this man had been moved from one location to another, the Hamas terrorists had dressed him as a woman to sneak him out of one location and into another. The problem being that he was 6'5" and pretty white. So they only did that one time. But it was just the thing that really struck me was, one, what a privilege it is to be witness and to represent for people's stories and to hold space for people's stories, whether that is your friend, someone who has something good, someone who has something challenging. Right now, especially with this veil between the worlds being so thin, this is a wonderful time for us to hold space. And as we move into the holiday season, we know those times can be very difficult for people, and we have Mercury retrograde upon us, and so things can be really hard, and people may be dealing with a lot of different emotions, and we have the opportunity as light bringers, light carriers, light workers, light believers, to hold a space to say, I am here to hear your story. I am here to Just listen. And that is one of the best things that we can do, is just listen, and to offer a place where people can share what is on their mind in a way that they can alleviate some of the pain because they're being heard. And so this is one of something very important that we can do, that we can all do, but at the same time, this is something that is really so important to me about this podcast, this grief education podcast, that it's still going to be, we want to bring humor, we want to bring light, we want to bring love. And our loved ones, when they come through so often with the jokes and the humor and the funny memories of burnt toast and shoelaces tied together, or tree houses, or last meals, memories that we had together that were wonderful. They don't come through, our loved ones don't come through, regardless of the veil. They don't come through to be like, remember that time when you messed up my whatever? They're not talking about that. They're talking about these things that are love memories, because that's what they want us to remember. And so right now, while things are difficult globally, things are difficult societally, things are going to get more difficult for a lot of people financially over the next few weeks, days, weeks. We have the opportunity to continue to hold space and to continue to remember that we chose, for whatever our path, whatever our mission, whatever, we chose, for whatever our reason, we chose to be alive and to be incarnated on the planet at this time. This was a choice. We didn't happen along and be like, I think I'll come to Earth this week. That will be fun. That wasn't how it goes. We intentionally chose to incarnate at this period of time, in this part of society, to these parents, in this country, in this body. Okay, we chose this time. And so it's important that not only do we remember that we chose to be here, which means we're here for a reason. We're here for a purpose. We have some kind of purpose. And 99.9% of the time, our purpose, you know what? People ask me all the time, what's my purpose? You know what it is? It's love. The purpose is love. The purpose is to love each other. The purpose is to lift each other. The purpose is to advance humanity's spiritual growth with love. The purpose is to support each other, to come to a place of world peace and respect and tolerance and love, where all peoples of all walks of life and colors and shades and orientations and whatever it is, that we all can come together in a way of love. That is the purpose. Now, how you choose to go about that purpose, that is your life path. That's different, okay? But the purpose is the same. We came here to experience because of love. Whether we came to experience negative things, difficult things, easy things, whatever, we came here because of love, okay? And because we love our soul families, we love the other souls who are incarnated as other humans near us and around us, because we love their souls so much, we agreed to come and stand in that space and hold that space and sometimes be a giant pain in their butt. But that was because we love them so much. And we also agreed, because we love them so much, that we were going to let them be a giant pain in our butt, because we came here to learn different lessons. And so as we come forward in this time of Dia de los Muertos, and remembering our loved ones, and remembering our purpose, and remembering our life path, and remembering what we're really here for, that it's all about love. And while everything else is screaming, it is so loud out there right now, wants to make your head explode. It is so loud, but there are so many wonderful things that are still happening if we are consciously choosing to look for them. It is so easy to look and find hate, violence, anger, it's easy to find that. It is harder to find the things that remind us that we are here for love, that we can hold space for one another, that we can just be present. And sometimes that is enough of the gift, okay? Just being present. I have a dear friend, a very dear friend who had sent out a query to a group of us in the friend group and said, hey, let's look at this. Have you seen this thing? And all the people in the friend group had responded. And I know the dynamics of the friend group, it was so lovely to see this person validated by the response. Whether the response was yes or no or whatever it was, the validation is important, because this was a group of people that were saying, I see you, I hear you, I may or may not be able to participate in whatever it was that was a question, but I see you and I hear you and I'm responding and I'm sharing my love with you and letting you know that you are seen and heard. And that is one of the most precious commodities that we can share with each other, especially right now. Okay, so as we're coming forward into this time of the holidays, if you are looking to have a holiday reading, it becomes very busy, becomes very popular. People want to speak to their loved ones with their loved ones before the holidays. I totally understand that. If you're looking for an individual session, please do make sure you send me a message so that we can get you on the calendar before things book up. Like I said, I do have some travel going on in November. It makes my time a little bit short for November, but right now we've got some good openings in December. So if you are looking to speak with your loved ones or get a New Year reading about what's going on in the new year, what's coming up for you, we'll be having those coming up in December and January as well. So lots of good things, lots of wonderful things. Okay, well, you know how to do it, Stephen. Just, get on the calendar. Come on. It's as simple as just sending me a text or a message to say, it helps a lot if you are looking for an appointment to just let me know if you prefer a daytime or an evening, like a weekday or a weekend appointment. Now that way I can get back to you right away with like options, okay? So if you are looking to get an appointment, it's so easy, just send me a message, whether it's a text or a phone call or an email or a Facebook message, just send me a message. The easiest thing, just let me know, weekday, weekend, we'll get back with you with options, we'll get some stuff going on. So, okay. Let's look at some cards and see what else is going on in the thing. I gotta say, I really do want to take a minute and check in with the animal spirits this week because we have had, there's been some fun animal things going on. I have to tell you a hilarious story. I don't think I have told you the story. And it's not like I try every week to have some kind of crazy story. That is not my goal. But sometimes things just happen a lot. So we had planted a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago, we had planted a grapefruit tree out on the side of the house. When we had first moved into the house 20 plus years ago, we had, I think there might have been a grapefruit. I don't remember. There was lemons but the tree died. So a few years ago, about 4 years ago, we planted a grapefruit tree. And, it was, big, but so first couple years, no fruit. Last year was the first year we had fruit. This year, I'm so excited to have grapefruit. I love grapefruit. And my husband and my mom can't eat them, so more for me. But the grapefruits this year are just gigantic. I mean, I'm so excited. So here we are, we're working on the house, working on the backyard, working on the driveway, working on all these things. And we see in the backyard, we have this beautiful red tree. It's the one tree that changes color this time of the year. We've got a tababuya that'll turn color in the winter, but we have this tree and this 2 crepe myrtles, and then there's like hibiscus around it, and we're like, okay, great, and we want to make a little space out under this beautiful red tree. And I'm gonna pour again. Yes. And so I said, well, let's take out this hibiscus, and then we'll have the 2 crepe myrtles, and we'll have this more space. And so here we are looking, and do you know, we're like behind the hibiscus, there is a grapefruit tree back there. Now it's too small to have been there for the 20 years that we've lived in this house. But there is a grapefruit tree hiding in the back of my yard that we never knew was there. And so our neighbors years ago had a grapefruit tree, and then they had taken it out to do some other things. And we think that a critter, because at one point we had found an armadillo living back in that little cluster. And so I think at some point the critter had brought a grapefruit back into this little area and ate it and left the seeds, and however many years, it has to be 10 years, it's got fruit. It's got fruit. I don't even know what kind of grapefruit it is. So here we have discovered the secret grapefruit tree in my backyard. And let's be clear, my backyard is not so big that there's things hiding back there that you wouldn't know. But this is just cracking me up. So I feel like I really want to check in with the animals because they're clearly, doing fun little things out there. And you can see in the background, it is pouring again here, that they are, oh yeah, we have Florida armadillos. Which is funny too, because I will tell you, Sharon, when we first moved here, I didn't know we had Florida armadillos either. So, but yeah, apparently we do, and I had one living in my backyard. It was hilarious. So he could have stayed. I didn't mind. We've had turtles, raccoons, possums, bunnies. We have bunnies in the yard. What else do we have back there? A big black snake the other day, but he was a good one, so we just leave him alone. What else have we seen back there? Owl. We had an owl one time. We've had hawks, red-shouldered hawks we have back there. And again, it's not a huge backyard, but there are like wilder places, and I say wilder, it's like maybe an acre here and an acre there that's unlandscaped. So we have coyotes. That's a big problem too. So we keep the cats inside, of course, at night. But so I really wanted to see what was going on with the animals, because clearly there was some kind of message or something with this grapefruit tree. Is just cracking me up. So I have to find out what kind of a grapefruit it is once they're ripe. So this is the panda card that I had picked from Stephen Farmer's Animal Spirits. And this is the panda. It says, create a sacred space for yourself in your home and or your place of work. Now I love this. No armadillos in Australia. You have other fun things in Australia and big things in Australia. So the panda reminds us to create safe spaces and sacred spaces, spaces where we can, quit it. Spaces where we can have peace, where we can be present, where we can relax, maybe we can meditate, some places that we can have, so that we can have a good communication. It's one of the things that we love about our bedroom is our bedroom is definitely a safe space, a sacred space. We have a TV in there. We don't use it a lot. It's not a big TV. The big TV's out in the living room. But it's a place where we can retreat and read and rest and just relax. And so creating a safe space, and even it says at work as well, in your home and or your place of work. Sometimes we need to have that. And in my safe space, years and years ago when I would work in an office, when I was still working in the law firm, my safe space was my girlfriend's office, because she had an office that I could go in and close the door. And so it's really important that you just have a place where you can just breathe. Even if it's just a couple minutes to just take a couple deep breaths. Just breathe. I read a news story this afternoon. It got me upset, so I was feeling very anxious, and I went into my bedroom and I just, right? You've seen me do the 3 conscious breaths. We've talked about it a million times, right? 3 conscious breaths, tongue on the roof of the mouth, breathing in, like box breathing. Hold it. Breathe it out. Pull your belly back to your spine. Push your body to be totally empty. Hold that. You do that 3 times, changes your energy. I don't know if you can hear the thunder. Even with the new windows, I mean, I have realized that our new windows are so good that, but if I can hear the thunder in here, it's really loud out there. So, okay, and canidas, platypus, and kangaroos. I love a platypus. I mean, I think they're so cute. So the panda reminds us to create sacred space. The panda reminds us to create a sacred space so that we can have a place to breathe, right? So that we can have that place for ourselves. All right, let's see what's going on. Which archangel? I love to see which archangel is with us each week. So let's see what's going on there. And then we'll grab some cards for the group. I would like to ask for your help. Our beloved Chris Judd is not available today. She's got other stuff going on today. But she did text me and say, can I please have a card? So could somebody, when we get into individual cards, remind me? We want to pull a card for Chris. All right, so this is Serafiel, Heart of Devotion. Let the cup of your heart be filled through commitment and dedication. My glasses, make sure I read that right. Let the cup of your heart be filled through commitment and dedication. Okay? And this is about being committed to yourself, being committed to your path, being committed to whatever it is that your goal is, that you have decided for yourself that is going to be the thing. Okay? Let yourself not be dissuaded by someone else's critique or opinion. Let yourself not be dissuaded from what is in your heart and what lights you up by other people. Okay? When I was still director in Mary Kay, we had a saying for a long time that said, if the dream is big enough, the facts don't matter. Now I know there's a place for facts, of course, especially in the news and things like that. I see this storm. It's very near us because I saw the flash and then the thunder. The facts in the news and in things like that are very, very important to get the facts right. But what that saying is, if the dream is big enough, the facts don't matter, is if we're really dreaming and we're really co-creating with the universe and we are working from a place of true joy and gratitude, then the reality of, I don't know how to do that, or I've never done that before, is not as relevant, because the universe will create stepping stones for us to move forward and be able to see our next right step to be able to move forward in a way that allows us to ignore maybe the reality, which is one of the things that lots of other people like to see. Well, you've never done that before, so how do you know how to do it? And you've not been trained into doing that, so how are you supposed to know how to do it? And those kind of things is people who are realists that like to poop on our parades. And so that's what that means, is it's really about allowing yourself permission to dream. We create that safe space so that we can dream. And then Sarah Fiel, who says, creating this to fill the cup of your heart through commitment and dedication. This tells us to stay true to our goals. This tells us to stay true to ourselves, to stay true to what it is we're trying to manifest in our lives. Let the cup of your heart be filled through commitment and dedication. That means we're staying true to ourselves, our commitment to ourselves, our dedication to our truest self, our authentic self, because the cup of our heart is filled, not by others, not by physical accomplishments. The cup of our heart is filled by allowing ourselves to be our most authentic selves and to stay on the path. Because what happens when you stay on the path, and I have a story about being on the path I'll tell you later, but what happens when you're staying on the path is things fall into alignment in a way that you can't even predict or see, or until you get there and you're like, holy crap, I thought that was going to be so difficult, and yet it just popped right into place, right? It just popped right into happening. But like, that's my next step, because clearly how couldn't it be? Because it just literally popped right into place, okay? So that's something we're looking for, that confirmation from the universe that we're on the right path, because the thing pops right into place, okay? So if you've heard me talk, 2 years ago, my husband and I went on a cruise to Alaska for our 28th anniversary. It was supposed to be our 25th anniversary, but COVID, and so we finally get on this boat, and we had to change the dates from August. We had to change the date to May, which was actually when our anniversary was anyway, because of his work, and we ended up on the cruise to the Northern Pacific in Alaska when the Northern Lights were just going crazy. That one night they were seeing Northern Lights in Florida. That night, we were out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, pitch black. They turned off the lights on the deck of the ship so you could really see, and we were just hours of watching the Northern Lights. We would have never seen that. Like, that was totally we had to change the date. The cruise ended up to be less price, and we got a better cabin, and here we got this Northern Lights. That's an example of things just popping into place because it just worked out, okay? And you're just like, well, something's in there, and it just clicks, okay? So as you're going forward, especially in these difficult times, it's really important that we're looking for ourselves. We're looking for those clicks. We're looking for where are those signs where the thing just zippers. Like if you've ever had a merge and they call it zippering, right? You go, I go, you go, I go, you go, right? Zippering, right? If you do it right, and people who know how to drive in traffic, they just, and it's super easy, right? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for those signs from the universe that feels like it just fits together. Okay. All right. So what do we need to know about what's going on right now this week? We've got, we're coming into the full moon. We still got about a week and a half to go. This is grace. This is grace. And this is card number 25. So this is 7. Okay. So grace reminds us, and isn't this beautiful? These are the Denise Lynn soul coaching cards. I've been really having a good time with these. I really like these. So this is grace, and this is 25. And 25 reminds us it's 7, 2 and 5 is 7. So we've got a change in direction that's coming. And so this is telling us we want to handle these changes with grace. We want to handle these changes with love, with care, with compassion. So here she is, this beautiful angel with a full moon, okay, which is telling us the full moon, remember, is the time of releasing. The full moon is the time when we let go of the things that are not serving us. So they're telling us that their change is coming. And it's important that we are holding on to the things that are important. So my husband and I were making some decisions the other day, and we were looking, should we do this, should we do this? And he's like, look, really, what's the important part here? And I'm like, okay, you're right. This is not the important part. Let's do this. It's a little, less expensive. It's quicker. It's easier. This is not the important thing. We want to make sure that we are prepared for the bigger thing that's going to be more important. So we're making decisions about our home and how we go forward and things like that. It's like keeping your eye on the ball of what it is that's important. And this is what Grace is talking about exactly. It says there's a change that's coming, and it's important for you to know what it is that's going to be important to you, that you're keeping your eye on the important things so that we don't get caught up in the minutia of, well, but I want that thing. I'm like, well, that's a little glitter thing? Do you really want the glitter thing? Is that really so important to you in the green scheme? Or do you really want to, can you let that go so that you can make way for something bigger? That is the thing that's really important to you. So it's keeping the main thing, okay? And so this is what Grace is talking about, is with the full moon, let go of what's not important. Just let it go. We hold on to so much crap. Like, oh, here's like a half pack of lifesavers because, no, let it go. My ex-person, whatever, let it go. That's not important. That's not the important thing. Having the grace and the strength of the angel, knowing that we are being protected, we are being carried, we are being nursed, we are being protected, loved, nurtured, supported, cared for, guided, all of the things while this change is happening. You could not ask for a better guardian than to have an angel who is literally carrying you during a change, reminding you to let go of the things that you do not need to hold on to. Okay, so we want to keep the main things the main things. All right, where are the hiccups? Where are the hiccups that we need to be aware of, that we need to look out for in this? And this is courage. Now this came in upside down, and we've seen this card before. This is the courage card, and this is card 13. So this is 4, okay, 4. Now I love this because it really lines up with the grace card, and here we are being supported, carried, and lifted by a angel, for heaven's sakes. And here's the courage card that is number 4. This says 4, we are supporting you. 4 legs of a chair, 4 legs of a table, we are supporting you, we've got you. This courage card says, yeah, we're coming into a rough storm, but please do not forget, we are with you. We are with you. Okay? He's got his stick. He doesn't have a sail. He doesn't have a rudder. He's in the storm. He's going into the storm. But look what's over here. Over here is the light. Okay? Here's the storm, but over here's the light. And where is his ship going to point? Well, we just don't know. Okay? And so he's coming into some rough seas. And this is what they're saying. Change is coming. But keep the main thing, the main thing. Keep what's important in front of you. Okay? Keep what's important in front of you and know that you are being supported, lifted, carried, protected. Okay? So it's going to take courage for all of us to get through these challenging times. Whatever that is on your path, it's going to take courage for us to get through these challenging times. And in the meanwhile, remember, we are not alone. Okay? We are not alone. And in fact, we may not even be alone, absolutely. 4 points of contact. They will tell you on a ship always to have 3, right? And in fact, we might not even be alone in the universe. I don't know if you all have been following this thing with this Atlantis comet. It is very interesting. There is a comet. It's not getting a lot of news. You might have to look for it. I think it's the I3 Atlantis comet. It is not from our solar system. It has come into our solar system. It has come towards the sun, and now it is currently behind the sun. And what is very interesting is that comets always have their tail behind them, and the tail is aimed to the sun because that's the biggest force of gravity in our solar system. So as the comet moves through, the debris that comes off of it is being pulled off of it by the gravity of the sun, and that's what creates the tail. So those tails are always pointing toward the sun. Now here's what's very interesting about this particular comet is it also has stuff that is ejecting off the front of it as if it was slowing down, as it using a gravitational assist to slow down. Now, we're not hearing a lot about this in the news. You might have to go looking for it. But all of this is being tracked by amateur astronomers because it could, it's very interesting, right? Yeah, Atlantis, Atlas 3I. And so it is very interesting because it could potentially just pass right by, and it's no risk of hitting the planet or anything like that. But the fact that it is decelerating, things don't decelerate. When things are going to come into the solar system and they get the gravity assist around a planet, they speed up. They use those gravities swing around the planet to speed something up, to give it more thrust, to get it around and keep it going. And if something is going to come and hit the planet, it starts to speed up. It gets caught in our gravity, and it's just shoom, right? This is decelerating. It is a very interesting thing to watch because it could be evidence of visitors. Maybe they're doing a drive-by. Maybe they just want to see what's going on over here. Who knows? But regardless of your beliefs about other life forms in the planet, in the galaxies, from a spiritual perspective, we know that we are not alone. And it was very interesting last night to listen to these people who had been held hostage talk about. She had a strong belief in God, and she had been led to start praying a prayer about 30 days before the October 7th attack had happened, and that she was taken hostage. And it was her prayer to God that had helped her to get through the time. Meanwhile, her fiance had no spiritual belief, did not believe in God, and while he was in captivity, he became faithful. He just started to pray to God to help and to be of comfort and company, because he was alone in a tunnel for most of the time. He said he was alone in a tunnel for almost 8 months. He had very little contact, and he was in a one place in the dark in the tunnel for 8 months. I mean, 8 months. But his conversations with God was what had got him through. And so regardless of your belief about an intelligence out in the galaxies, and personally I think that there is just no way there's not something else out there, some other folks out there, because it's a very big galaxy. Space is big. We can't be the only ones. But even without that, in our own metaphysical, in our own levels of consciousness, on the other side of the veil, our loved ones, angels, guides, animals, guides, guardian angels, whoever it is, we are not alone. Okay? And so this is reminding us with grace and courage, we are absolutely being supported, even when it feels like we're not. Because sometimes we've got to go through some stuff, clear some stuff out of the way, let go of those things so that we can be moved and become the people we need to be able to go forward. Yes, it does show some intellectual, it's possible that there is some structure or engineering or something that is causing this object to slow down. It's very interesting. It has never happened in our in space exploration that they've seen something like this before. So it's going to be very interesting to follow the story. Aliens can come and pick me up too. I absolutely would love to, come on. And I'm not sure that they haven't already, visited. So some things have happened to me in my life that are things I can't quite explain. Sharon says, I know how I feel living alone with my dogs. I crave and look forward to being with others. Absolutely. And it's so important, that we stay connected to each other. Absolutely. And being involved in our communities is really a big part of that as well, right? Being connected with other people. All right, so then we have, so we said, what do we need to know? Okay, grace. What are the obstacles we need to be aware of is courage. And so what else do we need to know? How's this going to turn itself out? It's going to turn itself out with voyage. Okay, now very interesting that this is voyage, because look at this ship and look at this ship. This is a very small little ship, no rudder, no sails, and then here, how is this going to turn itself out? It's going to turn itself out into a magnificent sailing tall ship with multiple sails and rudders and all kinds of technology that is going to go all into the light and the sun and the calm seas that is going to take us to the voyage home. Okay, and so this is card number 51, which is 6, which reminds us, okay, we have 7, right? We have change in the direction, right? That is 7, right? But then, I don't know if that's front or back, but you understand that can be a sharper curve. 6 says, no, it's going to be a more gentle curve as we're moving around. But 6 is also telling us that this is a change in direction, that we have seen this before. 6 is a number about sacred geometry. We've come around the circle. We've seen this before. We've learned this lesson. We've seen this. Now we want to see this from a different perspective. We want to see it from a higher perspective. We have seen this story before. How can we learn a bigger, grander lesson? How can we be elevated? How can we see this from a higher perspective? How can we move ourselves up? This is quite the promotion, would you not agree? From captaining this ship to captaining this ship is quite the promotion. How do we move ourselves up in there, right? And seeing those calm seas, the beautiful puffy clouds in the sunrise or sunset, however you want to interpret that, with the beautiful pink that's in there with those clouds, the calm sea, we've got the mountains in the background, and we are clearly either coming home. I interpret this to coming home in the voyage, coming into the port, because the mountains are behind me, as opposed to leaving for the voyage. I am interpreting this personally as coming home into safe harbor. Okay, but there is a way to interpret this that says we are taking off on the new adventure, right? But either way, I want you to see that the sun is shining in front of us, right? The sun is shining in front of us as we are going. Okay, so the better days are ahead, which is so important. The better days are ahead. Now, if it's a long voyage, the better days may take a couple minutes, but the better days are definitely ahead. All right, so let me grab a sip of water. Now is the time to put your comments in the comments to say me for those individual card readings. I'm going to grab one for Chris Judd first, just so I don't forget. So thank you to my angels that helped me to remember that. We're going to do that real quack. We'll do that real quack and get that out of the way. So for Krista, this is going to be 24, which is 6. We just talked about 6. And this is fulfillment. Okay, this is fulfillment. And she is picking the apples on a beautiful sunny day. So she is starting to harvest the things that she has planted. She has been, thank you, Kimmy. I really appreciate it. So she is planting and she's harvesting the things that she has planted. She has worked hard. She has an abundance of things. This is a very abundant card with all these different vegetables and fruits and things that are here. So this is really a card of fulfillment, a card that says continue as you go, to continue to work on the things that are your heart's desires, that bring you that joy. Because when you are in that place, when you are doing the things that bring you joy, guess what? You will have fulfillment because you're doing the things that bring you joy, and you will have the abundance because you're doing them because you want to and because they bring you that joy and love and gratitude instead of doing them out of obligation. Okay, so today I was folding laundry, I was folding sheets. I don't know anybody that likes folding sheets, but even still, I was saying to myself while I was folding the sheets, you know what, I really like these sheets. They're got a deep pocket, and they're really soft. And I'm so glad we bought these. Isn't this so wonderful that these sheets and I got them folded, and I went, aha. And I just, and I'm sure they're not the most tidiest of folded fitted sheets, but you know what? I'm so grateful because they're just a lovely color and they're very soft and they just fit the bed. And so I was trying, even in a task that I was just like, to have the joy and the gratitude in it. And you know what happened? While I was folding the sheets and the towels, my son came in and we had this lovely conversation while I was doing something that could have been very mundane and annoying. And it ended up that my son came in, and that those are the things that happen. And those are the zippers that we're looking for. Those are the zippers. Because when we stay in that place of joy and gratitude, we attract the other person, the other thing that wants to merge into our lane with us. Okay? All right. So that is for Chris. All right. Eliza Feldman. Wow. What lovely, wonderful to see a new name that we have not seen before. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we do go in the order of the comments. And so we have Kimmy, I think, was first. Yep. So we did Chris. We're going to do Kimmy, and then we're going to keep on going. And so Kimmy, this is opening 35. 3 and 5 is 8. Okay, 8 reminds you that it's the infinity number. It reminds you that you have all the time in the world. You just have to keep going, stay the course, keep going. Okay, so it says things are opening, things are happening for you. The blossom is happening. Again, like the card for Chris, the harvest is coming. You are allowing things to open. The seeds that you have planted are coming to fruition. But it's important that you are trusting as things are developing, okay? Trusting as things are developing. And again, this 8 number, because this is 35, 3 and 5 is 8, and 8 number says, listen, everything is going exactly how it's supposed to be going, and things are working out. The spirits and angels are watching over. You have this infinity symbol that says everything is fitting together. You have plenty of time. You don't need to rush or be have anxiety about things happening fast enough. Okay, so that's what's going on there for Kimmy. Yes, a bigger ship does have more knowledge and more resources, perhaps. So Sharon, we have Sharon is next, and Sharon, this is Essence, and this is card number 20. Now I don't know if we've seen this before, but this is really great. So I'm sorry, this is card 19. My apologies. Card 19, 1 and 9. So you can see it up there. 1 and 9 is 10. So this says something is coming to the conclusion, and what's important for you in this is the essence is that we're holding the lesson. We're holding the experience. We're not holding on to grudges or the details or the minutia or whatever. We're just holding on to the experience. It says, I had this great experience. I have this beautiful son. The koi fish are often thought of as wisdom, the wisdom fish, and good luck fish as well. You are, Lisa, that's hi. That's Sharon's daughter. That's so exciting. Kimmy, you're welcome. So this is, oops, where am I? Okay, so Sharon, this is really about wisdom and connection and good luck. These fish, this is, I'd say it's a koi fish. It looks like a big goldfish, but I don't think the goldfish are really in Japan. I think it's a koi fish. So that you have this wisdom and good luck. And it says you have the sacred temple and the sun is shining down on it. It says, listen, all the things are coming together. All the things, hey, it's the mailman, relax. All the things are coming together. And so just allow for those things to continue to develop, because this 19 card is telling you this chapter is coming to an end. It's going to be time for a new adventure for you. And it's interesting because I'm wondering what you're teaching next, Sharon. So because as I'm saying to myself, this adventure is coming to an end. I hear it really right in my head. This says, well, I wonder what the next one's going to be. I wonder what you're teaching next. So that will be, I would love to hear more about that. All right, Stephen, we've got impeccability. Now, this is a wisdom card, okay? This is a wisdom card. Okay, so this is card 28. So that's another 10 card. Okay, it says that this part is coming, another chapter is coming to an end. But look how big this book is. There are many, many chapters. Okay, so we're not done with the story there, Stephen, but we are coming to the end of this chapter. And there is this part about impeccability, and because they're showing us the wisdom in the book, they're also talking about being impeccable with our words. So you know about the 4 agreements, right? So if you've not read that book, it's definitely worth reading. But this is about being impeccable with our words. It's also about being clear with our words. So we're saying the things that we mean, and we're not beating around a bush with things, that we're being very clear in our communications, especially as we're coming into retrograde very, very soon. It's really important that you're being very clear with your words. Now, this also talks to me about a new development that is something that is bigger, because if you're looking, we are looking in this big grand library of wisdom with all these big windows and beautiful designs. It says something bigger is coming. Hey, it's the AT man, relax. He's doing his job. Okay, so we have, this is something bigger is coming. And so this is allowing for, again, a new level of expansion, the next level of expansion, but it's also very important that you're being impeccable with your words so that you are saying exactly what it is that you want. You're being very clear about what it is that you want. So it might be some time to get some clarity, some quiet time to say, well, where am I going next? Because this is the 28th. This is the end of a chapter. Where is our next chapter going to go? So this is may also be why you need to come and see me, but it is really about having this time that says, what's my next chapter, and what is it that I really want, because it feels like there is this soul expansion that's coming for you, towards you, not coming for you. Okay, all right, Belinda. We've got Belinda, awakening. Now this card also comes in upside down. This is awakening, and this is number 5. Okay, now this card came in upside down, Belinda. This is, hey, listen, you're not there yet, but you're still going forward, and it's really important you're allowing yourself permission, because what happens when you look at this card right side up is that here you have this celebration, and you have this beautiful ray of the guiding star. Can you see that? The guiding star shining right down on you. And so this says, listen, trust that we're on the right track. You don't have to do something. You don't have to go or learn, or just allow the awakening to come. Allow that you are opening your mind to new possibilities. Allow that you are opening your mind to the new understanding. There's things that are out there. We're letting ourselves evolve, okay? And so, Belinda, there's not anything that you have to do other than not resist it. Okay? Because sometimes we've talked about this before, where we have this opportunity and we're like, nope, that doesn't look like what we wanted, and so therefore we dismiss it and go, nope, that, just like my husband and I, we were looking, do we want this, do we want this? It didn't look exactly like what I wanted, because the whole thing I wanted was over there. And he's like, well, what's the important part here? And I said, oh, well, okay, you're right. The important part is this. It's over here, it's more accessible, let's do this, even though if I had all my druthers, I'd want this, but that's not really that important, because this is really, so I'm creating space to say, okay, this is what I need, and that fits the need, and now I create space for what else could develop, okay? So sometimes we get so caught up in what has to look like what we think and we wanted and what we imagined and what we, had on the goalpost, or it has to look like that, that we don't allow for that this or something more that we've talked about before. But there is no mailman. Okay, the mailman is actually coming to the door. So, I love my mailman, just so you know. Oh, that's not even my regular mailman, but it was very nice he brought a package. Okay, all right, you can stop barking. It's not Archie. Okay, so we create the opportunity for the opening of this or something more. Okay, so that's the important part here with the awakening, is this or something more, right? So we are creating the space for the spirit and the universe to develop, allow something more to come into our path that we hadn't maybe not even thought about yet. Okay, Aliza, so nice to meet you. Yes, that would be a very good card for Chris. I think that she will appreciate it as well. Thank you, Sharon. Aliza, it's very, very nice to meet you. Let's see what's going on for you. So, Aliza, this is abundance. I love this card. Okay, this is abundance. This is card number 1. This is abundance. And so here's the part. And we were just talking about this or something more. So Aliza, with abundance card, we're not want to be sure that we are not, so card number 1, we're at the beginning of a new adventure. But look, we see we've got all of these balloons, these gorgeous hot air balloons, but they're outside this archway. And then we have this one balloon, of course that's us, right? And we're in the archway and we're kind of stuck and we're going boink, 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 we're knocking our heads on there. So this is the place where we say to spirit and we say to, angels, guides, loved ones, all the things, and we say, hey, this or something more. And we are willing to take our limitations off, where we say, but this is what I want. This is how I want it to look, exactly how this. And they're like, well, we can only take you this high if that's the case. But if we can release our limitations and say, what is the important part here? Oh, this is the important part, to say, okay, this is the important part. However that happens, I understand this is the important part. I can, excuse me, I can release the rest of it and let spirit make something more. And then we get to come out from this overhang and we get to float high, high in the sky into abundance with all the other balloons. So Aliza, this is really about allowing something, keeping your eye on what's the important piece, but letting go of the hows, of how we get there, how we create it, how it happens, what it actually needs to look like at the end. And we say, no, where's the important piece? Hold on to that and let the rest of it unfold as it will, because it will come to you in a bigger way than you can even imagine. And the things that have been happening around here lately, I can't even begin to, can't wait to tell you about it. I can't tell you yet, but I can't wait to tell you the things that are happening are just blowing my mind, because I'm just like, what? But that's what happens when you keep the thing that's important and you allow spirit to do other things, and the universe can create something bigger than you can even imagine. So Aliza, lots of potential in front of you. So nice to meet you. So glad for you to join us today. All right. So Sharon, thank you. Stephen, thank you. Belinda, thank you. We all get in our own way, right? We do. We just have to remember to say, wait a minute, I'm getting in my way. Okay, I trust you all. Work it out. I trust you all. And if you heard me with the rental car story, you heard me say that. I said, a couple weeks ago, and I said, I got this thing with this rental car. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but here's what I want. You all figure it out, right? And they did, in a way that I would not have even saw coming, in a way that was really the best possible scenario. So thank you. Sue Langer, Is that Gesundheit in Yiddish? Sei gesund? Bless me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we are going to do one more card just for the collective, because I always like to finish it off with one card for the collective. And this is communication. This is 11. We know 11, right? That twin number, the number that says we are not alone. Spirit is with us. Our soul partners are with us. Our angels, our guides, our loved ones in spirit. All of those, we are not alone. It says we are together. And the communication. Now look, because we have this beautiful light shining down, and she is whispering to the tiger. The tiger is listening. Okay? The tiger is listening. The tiger has a power here. She's asking the universe what it is that she wants. At the same time, she's also, this can go both ways, and I think it does. Oh, to longer years. Okay. My grandmother would always say, sei gesund. And that always cracked me up. My husband and I would always look at her and say, sei out, because we thought it was funny, and she never understood, and we would laugh, and she thought we were crazy. But it was just one of those positive, happy memories, right? So here she is. This card goes both ways. They are both the universe, they are both the asker, they are both the listener, right? And it says she's asking for what she wants, and the light is shining. And the tiger has all the power, one of the kings of the jungle, right? And he is listening, and he's going to make it happen, or she. But at the same time, we are the tiger, because we can be out there demanding, we want this, 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 and this, right? Making that box. And the light shines down and says, well, listen, tell us what you want, and we're going to tell you how to get it. Okay? So this card, I love. It's one of my favorite cards. Not only is it beautiful, but it is all about asking for what you want, trusting that some way it's going to come to you, if you can release the hows and the details and let the universe blow your mind. And this card reminds me of this every single day, and I love this card. So we will leave it with that. I am so grateful to spend some time with you. I'm so grateful for you to choose to spend some time with me and together so that we can be together on Monday afternoons. Now remember, I will not be here next Monday. I will be in Mexico. So we will see, and you'll see the, hey, we're not here this week up on next Monday, but we will be back together later in the month. So I'm looking forward to joining you all next week. And I hope if you are doing anything for the Dia de los Muertos that you are remembering your pets today, your loved ones in spirit, and know that they are absolutely always with you and they are choosing to share with you the happy memories. They're not trying to share with you the sad memories. All right? Always remember how very much you are loved. Thank you for spending some time, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Mwah.